Man, Alok, you have been busy not only dropping music with Ava Max, not only dropping music with the Chainsmokers and Mae Stevens, not only remixing Calvin Harris and Sam Smith, not only wrapping your summer tour, but also still doing shows all over the world. Should I keep going, Alok?
I mean, the music part is the easy part.
Yeah, and beyond all that, you were also just in New York hosting a climate change event at the United Nations headquarters, which is amazing. My most important question for you, Alok, is this the real Alok or is this his clone? Because there is no way you're doing all of this.
You know, it's funny because I have a twin brother. We don't look like each other, unfortunately. Otherwise, he would be in my place, replacing me on those moments. I look way more like you than my twin brother, to be honest.
That's a little scary. Alok, welcome back to America's Dance 30. It's great seeing you.
It's my pleasure. It's an honor to be here. I'm sorry about my voice. I mean, I haven't slept for the last 4 months.
We were just talking about that. You literally just woke up like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, because I fell asleep and I don't know why. I think my subconsciousness just woke up. It was just some time of the interview, so I asked if you guys could delay for 10 minutes so I could grab a coffee, wash my face, and just go home.
Well, let me take a second and thank your subconscious for waking you up. I appreciate it. Congratulations on the new smash, Jungle, with the Chainsmokers and Mae Stevens. It is such a smash.
I really love this one as well. And it's interesting because this one came across like very quickly, I've been trying to do a collab with Chainsmokers, I think, for the last 4 years, changing emails and songs that we never really got there. Because every time it's like, it's a song that's too much related with them or too much related with me. We never found this balance. And then, he started to date a Brazilian girl. And he's dating a Brazilian girlfriend now. And I think she might be the one like to insist with them, like, hey, you should do something with Alok.
So it's kind of like you set it up.
Yeah, exactly. She set it up. Thankful. And and then as soon as I sent them the idea, they got in love with it, and they worked, very well. They really changed the song to a way where it felt much better. And it's interesting because it's like this kind of style that's really hyping the moment, which is like this kind of a little bit faster BPM, but you can really find them there, and you can really find Alok. It's a very a balanced, and I love the song.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the sound of now, because as a DJ that's been doing this for so long, could you ever imagine, because I couldn't, that the next sound would be the faster, harder trance, kind of like the old Cascada?
I didn't imagine as well, to be honest with you. And it's interesting because I feel that also the new generation, they're a little bit more anxiety. They have anxiety. And I think they listen to the songs and to interviews, everything in 1.5, a little bit faster. They just want to do it faster. And it's interesting to see, like, also how the music became faster, with everything. If you think about it, like, all the content and everything has to be fast and quick, 15 seconds. And
yeah.
I want all information before seeing the video. I don't want to lose time. And maybe suddenly this just also convert with the music. But I think, like, for our generation, it also fit well because it's something that we are used to, right? It was like beforehand something that was very big beforehand.
Yeah, it's all cyclical, and it's definitely great to have it back. I mean, you kind of use that sound for your remix of Desire with Calvin Harris and Sam Smith. I can't wait to talk more about Jungle and find out how it was born, and, of course, Car Keys, Ayla, and find out how that was born coming up. But let's get to know Alok a little better with Finky's favorites.
Okay.
So last month you had a partnership with iFood Brazil for the Alok and cheese pizza, which is right down my lane. What is your favorite topping on pizza?
I think it's cheese for sure, and the name
Yes.
says everything. You know, my flavor was like five different cheeses.
I love it.
But
I'm just happy you didn't say pineapple.
no, it's a crime, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, it is.
I'm
Now,
here in Italy, you know. If you tell this, like I think that
they
they
would
would cancel
deport
my
you.
show here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would take your passport away. Now, Tomorrowland just dropped an in-depth doc on YouTube, which is amazing. That includes you as well. I've actually never gotten the chance to go to Tomorrowland yet. What is your favorite thing about playing Tomorrowland?
I think people that go there, they're looking for something different. Like I would say it's a place where you can really like bring something that's fresh. You don't have to do the same set you're playing the whole summer. It's a moment where, you know, you have kind to challenge yourself. And also what happens in Tomorrowland becomes a very big influence for the future for all the DJs. So I think that's the most thing I most like because it's kind of everyone goes there, have to share new stuff, and then everyone listen to each other's set and see what everyone did. I
Now,
think that's what I most like, yeah, to play there.
is Tomorrowland as surreal as it looks? Because it just looks amazing.
It is surreal, and it's like, it's, you know, it's a Disneyland for adults in a way where it's amazing everything. But I think more than that, it's a place where you can be free, you know, where most of the time we cannot, and we, you know, a lot of people work so hard, have so much challenge and stuff, and you know they accumulate so much of this energy, and they have to just release this energy some moment. And you can release this fighting, you know, like on the metro station, on the work, or you can release this with love and music, and you know just. And I think Tomorrowland is those moments where you can release this energy, but in a very good way.
Yeah, I hope to go soon. It's definitely on my bucket list. Now, you posted an awesome video of you landing in Brazil and taking a young fan and his family up on stage with you, which was so incredible. What is your
Uh,
favorite thing about playing in Brazil?
I would say I'm a Brazilian, you know, and to be Brazilian, we know very well our culture and our soul, I would say. And I would say that the best part for me to play in Brazil, it's because they feel me as someone that represent them in the world, and they're so receptive with me. You know, they share so much love. It's something so intense that is not even close anywhere in the world. So I think that's what I most like. You know, to have this love from the crowd. It's impressive.
It just looks amazing, the crowd in your videos.
It's like I feel that you know we as Brazilians we miss sometimes this representativity because we are always taught that you know we are inferiors and what happens outside is superior, and you know and when you have someone representing us on you know on sport like on football or you know on something we feel represented, and that becomes so big in our country, and we receive them bigger than any other you know international superstar because we feel proud of it, and it's magic, you know, to have this support of the whole community, not only in Brazil but all over. You know, I have something that plays a lot in my advantage, which is like there's so many Brazilians around the world. They support so much that you know when I'm playing sometimes in clubs in Europe, like the first night is sold out because the Brazilians don't allow no one here to buy the tickets. So I have to open the second night or move to a bigger venue, which is very important because you know sometimes for us to cross the frontiers and you know to get noticed and opportunities outside, sometimes we need to prove ourselves selling tickets, right? And so they come everyone across, and it's amazing.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, finally, in Finky's favorites, your latest song with Ava Max, Car Keys, is climbing the charts. It, of course, samples a classic dance song, Ayla. This is going to be a tough question, What is your favorite dance song of all time? Yeah, the tough one.
If I would say one dance artist, I would say Daft Punk
Oof. Good
because they
choice.
really changed a lot of things, you know. And but my favorite dance song, wow.
So I ask that question a lot, and I'm just waiting for somebody to say the same one that I have, and it's never happened, which is kind of upsetting. But two of my favorites are Josh Wink, Higher State of Consciousness, and
Yeah.
this, I don't know if you're familiar with Lustrol. It's a song called Every Time that was just a beautiful female vocal. Those were two of my favorites.
I will search this one. What's the name of the second one?
The
I
second
might have heard it, but not similar with the name. You know, that happens often.
Yeah, make sure to Google Lustrol and Every Time. It is a beautiful female vocal.
Well, interesting. I will check it out. Maybe something can happen.
Maybe that'll be
Because,
your new favorite.
yeah, no, but also not only that, you know, on my last releases, I've been sampling a lot of old, like, you know, gold that they were very big in the past because I think that the new generation don't really know it. And also it's a hit, so everything is good. It just, as you said in the beginning, it's a cycle. So it's
Right.
always coming back. You see my last release, Deep Down. I'm all by myself. The one of James Art to work with my love. They all have car keys. They all have this sample from back in days, and it really works. But um, I don't know if I have one specifically song that really, you know, I remember a lot of things of Massive Attack, of The Prodigy, you know, Chemical Brothers. I think the one that really changed my mind, if I could choose two, would be Chemical Brothers, Hey Boy, Hey Girl, because of the whole concept. For me, that I think that was very disruptive. When I heard first listen, I said, wow. But the artist, I would say Daft Punk. You know, it's complicated, it's
It
hard.
definitely is. But that just shows you the difference. See, I'm more of a block rockin' Beats by the Chemical Brothers, which was a
Uh,
classic as well. But let's talk about Car Keys. Ayla, how was this song born with Ava Max?
so this song is very interesting. I think they had way more challenging on the backstage, you know, a back office than on creating it. I started to work on on a beat, and then after that, I sent this beat to Ray, actually to my A&R, and then he sent to Ray. Ray had a song that she wrote it like 5, 6 years ago that was fitting perfectly with this beat that I sent. Then after that, I got you know, the sample of Ayla, which fit very well on the beat. So it was, you know what I mean? So it was like a lot of things combinate, a lot of big combinations. And then after we tried some featurings that didn't really match. And then Ava, she cut it and was sounding perfect. She also changed the lyric. So yeah, it's I think what I did was just putting all the pieces together, and that was challenging, like of course, to make everyone happy on the back, you know, on the
I
paper.
bet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
so
how
that
long
was
ago did you start
complicated.
working on it?
I would say 1 year
Oh, okay. So it's not that long ago.
before, 1 year before sending to Ava, because it was ready when I sent her, right? We just had to do some adaptation, and her producer also got involved. We did some trickies there, but yeah, indeed.
Was Ray not on it because of her schedule, her release schedule?
I don't know why, but I have a feeling that she was focused on her, you know, her
Her solo.
so, yeah, exactly. And I think that she didn't want to do electronic at the moment because she was getting too much related with electronic, and she wanted to. And we released it almost at the same time as she was focused on her single called Escape. I think Escape.
Yeah, escapism.
It's very big. And I also couldn't lose the moment because it was summer.
And the Isla sample is so summer. That's so perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about your latest smash, Jungle, with the Chainsmokers and Mae Stevens. How was this smash born?
As I told you in the very beginning, I was trying to collaborate with them for the last 4 years. I sent this idea to them. They really loved it. And you know what? I was I was thinking if they would accept to jump on in a song that was 140 BPM, and it was like this kind of, but they really liked it. And as soon as they listened to it the first time, I think they really liked it in a way where they just wanted to jump on and want to release it the next week. And this is very important, because when you're collaborating with someone, you want the other side to be also interested about it, and promoting it, and performing it and believing in it. I think it's most important. And since the very first moment, they were believing in it, and then they worked in a song, they made it feel much better. And we had this. I presented this when I was in LA. I think in May I presented. In July it was ready to release.
Wow.
They're pushing me to release every week, and and I couldn't because of car keys. But we found this specifically date now in September.
Now, something I love to find out is how many different versions there are from when you start working on it, all the tweaking and everything, and then finally putting it out. Do you know what the final V was of Jungle? Do you remember?
Yeah, V7. But
Oh, that's not bad.
not many different things. I'll tell you a story. I collaborated already with Mick Jagger for two songs. One was his solo record called "Gotta Gotta Grip" that I produced like a remix for him. And then for this one, I remember that I had to do like also seven or eight versions, but not like only tricky, like very different versions until he really got satisfied. And it was challenging. And then when it started the pandemic, he called me. He said, "Listen, we're gonna release a song after 8 years of non-release from Rolling Stones, which is called The Ghost Town, because it's really, really what we're living, right? Everyone is locked down and stuff. You want to remix this? I said, for sure." So I started to remix this one. And it was interesting because he was calling all the time because he dived into it. He really like put all his tricks, and it's very interesting to see how perfectionism is. And I have a video recorder because I was just recording myself on piano because I was just feeling like something was inspiring me. I have two phones. And then the other phone started to ring and it was him. So I answered it, and then I told him like because I was already on the 10th version of this new remix. And then I called, "Are you happy?" I said, "Yeah," because listen, now I understand why you did the song "I Can Get No Satisfaction" because you're never satisfied. You're never satisfied. I mean, this is the 10th version. I don't know what to do anymore. And he said, "No, no, no. Now I'm happy." I said, "Oh,
Thank God.
he just said like, can you just bring a little bit more of like a psychedelic vibe of the guitar?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Let's do
Yeah, sure. But are you going to take the call from Mick Jagger next time he calls?
that." Yeah, and I have this video recorded. It's funny because I forgot I was recording myself on the piano.
That is so awesome. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations on that. Congratulations on Jungle. Congratulations on this amazing event that you did at the United Nations headquarters, the second annual Future is Ancestral event, which also ties into your album that's going to be coming out next year. Share with us how this was born.
So basically, in 2014, I was living like a very depressive moment in my life, looking for answers and also looking for inspirations. And so I went to a very isolated indigenous tribe, which was like, I don't know how many flights, and then 13 hours in a row, and then 9 hours in a very small canoa. And it was in the heart of Amazon. And I finally got there, and I spent 10 days. And it was a real life-changing for me experience because I was just changing a lot of perspective and also my mindset about so many things, but also connecting with the nature. So 2021, I was asking myself where was the future, and came the answer like the future is ancestral, which means like we're always talking about like how can we create a sustainable future. And I think that the best way to do this is to co-create with the ancestral knowledge, from the indigenous, because the indigenous, they really understand about the nature. We are very disconnected. And the way they deal with it, it's not only about like, a lot of people have the mindset that the forest stand is not productive, but for them, the forest is not about only the territories. It's their culture, their spirituality, their way of living. So it's interesting how they deal with it, and I think they have a lot of things to share. So I started to produce this album in collaboration with them, but the main goal of this album is to give them, voices, potentialize their voices. So I won't even release the album as Alok album. I will release like their album, maybe produced by Alok, because I just want to be, really the platform. So I was invited to join UN, the Climate Week Change, and I said, okay, fine, but you want to discuss about, protecting the forest, and all this aspect, we should bring the indigenous here so that they can be heard, and also they can, and I think it's time to hear them. So last year we invited them, and it was beautiful. And this year we did it again, but it was much, much bigger than last year. And hopefully next year I don't have to go there to be speaking. Maybe I can be downstairs applauding them, and that's, the transition that I'm doing. So this album is way more about like an album to bring consciousness about. We always think about the future like in a very apocalyptic way, flying cars and neon cities. Why can't the future be indigenous in his small boat on the middle of the Amazon, and he just take out his phone, very technology, and he scans the birds? Which I mean is like the future don't have to be always in this aspect of the technology just taking over everything, because there's nothing more technology than the nature. We're not possible to recreate it, And I've been there, and I have technology as a big alliance in my career, because I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't act, I don't have a band. I have
Wait
a
a
technology in
second.
my favor.
Wait a second. We got to stop this interview then if you can't sing and dance, Alok.
But honestly, it's funny because like I use technology in my favor, as a big alliance in my life, and I would say that there's nothing more technology than nature. It's incredible. So the point is the UN performance and this indigenous album. It's to bring this consciousness about this topic.
I love that. And I love that you're using your platform to do that, and that all the proceeds are going to go to benefit the indigenous communities, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations on Jungle. Alok, I know you are insanely busy. You still got shows throughout the world, throughout the end of the year. People can check alokmusic.com for your tour dates. Alok, it's always great seeing you. Thank you for your time on America's Dance 30.
Amazing. It's my pleasure. This weekend I will be in America.